wonder how long the value of a head-to-head win lasts. Apparently, it's about a week and a half because Michigan State had just beaten Michigan, and they have the same records. Their metrics are very similar, and yet the committee thinks Michigan's a better team. What was your reaction to it?
I'm not going to let y'all wind me up again like y'all did on Tuesday. I'm just not going to let y'all do that. But here's the thing.
Too late.
Head-to-head mattered in every situation in the top 25 committee, whether it be BYU and Baylor, whether it be Wisconsin and Iowa, whether it be Oregon or Ohio State. It just didn't matter for one team. I don't understand it. It's stupid. It should have mattered. It's, again, one loss, one loss. If the resumes are very comparable like that, I wish we could just decide it on the field, and that really mattered.
I saw the Michigan State-Michigan game in person. Did you?
Yes, sir.
Michigan was a better team. They blew a 16-point lead in the fourth quarter and lost a classic fumble. And they should have won. Michigan should have won the game. Michigan is a better football team than Michigan State.
So that's what I love. You get a little age on you, you just don't care. You just don't care. Well, throw it out there.
Well,
man.
let me tell you something. The three of us are starting to care less, if that's true.
Absolutely right. You know what? I mean, you know how many people right now are sitting on their couch saying they beat them. That's all that matters. And you're saying, I know, but they're still better.
Right.
Michigan State lost to Purdue right after that.
Yeah.
Right.
Michigan has not lost.
Yeah. I don't get as passionate, worked up about it because I just feel like it's going to work itself out. I understand your logic. I really do. I mean, how can Oregon be ahead of Ohio State? The logic you hear from people, well, they beat them head-to-head. That's the only reason. You know what I mean? So I'm not as worked up about it as some people seem to be.
And I think that's
an interesting take, though.
Why would the committee give itself the PR headache of putting Michigan ahead of Michigan State? What if there was a little what if it was a trial balloon for down the road to say, hey, see, head-to-head isn't all to maybe is a little bit of a foreshadowing to ranking Ohio State over Oregon later in the year.
I just don't. I see what you're saying. It could function that way, but I don't believe they operate in that way to try to orchestrate the outcome.
We all have seen teams lose games that we thought they were better than their opponents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There were people in the committee meeting room who, when they watched Michigan, they watched Michigan State, period. Not even just that game, but saying, okay, week one, we're going to rank them ahead of Michigan because they beat Michigan. But we don't think they're that much better than Michigan. And then they saw them week two go on the road and lose to a Purdue team that was not ranked at the time. And so that group who said, well, they may not be that good, they decided to move Michigan in front of Michigan State. So that's the only logic behind that made sense to me.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Is because, to Bear's point, this is not just a Michigan State discussion. This is going to come into play theoretically if Ohio State and Oregon are in the same situation. It
will
could come into play if, say, maybe Oklahoma loses one time. Oklahoma's about to hit the more difficult part of its schedule. But you know what? It's not just Oklahoma. Oklahoma State is lurking back there, too. And I think they can win their way all the way into the playoff if they were to win out, too.
I think so, too, because we just talked about the Cowboys. Their defense is playing great right now. Defense travels, and we understand they're going to have a big game at the end of the year against Oklahoma. If both teams continue to win, Bedlam is going to be monstrous. I like Oklahoma State's chances if they continue to win.
I think the winner of that game, down the road, we've been waiting on Oklahoma. They just haven't had a big stage yet.
Right.
So this is the week beginning. We just said earlier, these next 4 weeks, we're going to find out that if Oklahoma, because a lot of people, they didn't never bring Oklahoma up. They're 8-0, and they're behind a lot of one-loss teams. All you people that say undefeated is all that matters, Oklahoma's at 8. They're at 8. So now they have the stage. Now they have the opponent. We'll see if they start winning and going up.
Oklahoma's number 2 in my rating.
I know.
Because they are undefeated.
And you have Cincinnati at 3?
No, Cincinnati out.
What? Out?
He changed it on you. He must have changed it.
They're undefeated, though. They're undefeated.
I don't care. They're not a Power 5 team.
Oh,
Their
okay.
schedule doesn't. I say this.
Power 5.
Oklahoma's and Georgia are the two only undefeated teams in Power 5. And that means a lot to me.
Wait, if that means a lot to you?
Yes.
Cincinnati doesn't mean a lot to you?
No, that doesn't mean that. They're not a Power 5 team. They don't play for.
So you're saying
it may have the
Cincinnati can
second
win
best win in the country.
every game by 40?
No, I didn't say
If
that.
they won every game.
I think they can win every game by 40. They might be in it, but I doubt if they win by 40.
Okay.
To me, let me see.
Different logic there, Power 5.
Power 5 teams play good teams all year, not just Notre Dame and Indiana.
You know, well, just Notre Dame. But you know, I think this year, because I'm not one of those guys either that undefeated is all that matters, but maybe more this year because Georgia's separated itself and everybody else seems really similar. So you also have a one-loss team only with a loss to Cincinnati. Notre Dame Bear. There you go. Notre Dame Bear.
Where are they, 9 right now?
Yeah.
I don't think they can get it. I mean, I shouldn't say they can't.
They might be the only one-loss team left.
But they can't get in over Cincinnati. No. So basically, you're looking at a situation where you're going to need Oklahoma or Ohio State or someone else to lose and then allow Georgia in, another team in, and then get Cincinnati and Notre Dame in.
Exactly.
I'd be surprised if Notre Dame got it.
Okay, so we were sitting here a week ago talking about Wake Forest, and they didn't have anything on their schedule that was going to press them. They could never get up there. But now we'll talk about Notre Dame and say they have a chance to get up there because there ain't nothing on Notre Dame's schedule that's impressive.
No.
Not a thing. Not one game that we're going to point to that says, Notre Dame should be there.
We're saying that. I think he brought it up.
And my point is not that they can get there, but with this year that we've seen all of these upsets, what if almost everybody else has 2 losses?
They're not getting
except for Georgia and Cincinnati. Notre Dame's got 1. You wait.
Oh, no, wait. No. This is Notre Dame. Now, you're going to tell me if other teams have 2 losses and Notre Dame only has 1 loss, there is an outside shot that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish will get in, bro. It's about the brands.
Notre Dame is haunted by the Cincinnati loss.
Yeah.
It's good. It's my argument now for 8 teams in the playoffs.
There you go.
Notre Dame and Cincinnati are great for an argument. 8 teams in the playoffs.
Can we let non-Power 5 in then? Are they allowed to come in?
Only in the 8.
If we get to 8,
only of course. If we get to 8, you got to get
one of those 2-loss teams could potentially be a 2-loss SEC champion, Texas A&M.
The Texas A&M Aggies.
Ouch.
Fighting Texas Aggies. If they win out and they get Alabama with a loss either to Arkansas or more likely to Auburn, Texas A&M and Georgia in that case would be in very good spots.
To say that if scenario, what you're saying is they would be doing this. They had 2 losses to Arkansas, Mississippi State, but since the Alabama game, A&M's a different team. If they were to win here, and Alabama were to slip up, they would play Georgia. I mean, they would potentially control
pretty
their
much any
destiny.
team that beats Georgia will get in.
And remember,
bottom line.
You guys are forgetting Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon wins the rest of their games.
They'll probably in.
They control their destiny.
They're not going to get in because of Texas A&M. Oregon gets in over Texas
But here's
A&M.
the thing about A&M that we have to consider, too, because it's part of the criteria. The criteria of the committee said they will take injuries into account. They're playing with a backup quarterback. Now he's the starter. Now he's gained reps. They come in here and beat Ole Miss, which they probably will. Yeah. And then you start.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.